Thank you so much for being here today. We're all gathering, coming together from multiple different paths, many different geographic locations, and different life experiences, but we all have one thing in common, and that is we're here to celebrate Joey. So really appreciate you all being here. He really impacted all of our lives so profoundly, and we deeply love him. We're gathered today in celebration of the life that Joey lived. It is also undoubtedly a tragic shock that we're all gathered under these circumstances. And yet, in Joey's honor and memory, we will remember and we will celebrate. Stephen Joseph Cotter, Joey, Esteban, Uncle Joe, Bro, died by suicide on January 31st, 2025. He was 39 years old. In his time here, Joey left a profound impact on all those who knew him. He was first and foremost and most dedicated, the most loving father. His girls were the most important thing in the world for him. And today's celebration is an honor and devoted to the loving father that he was. Joey was the son to her dear mother, Jane. He lit her up with sunshine and positivity from his youngest memories. All of her memories, positive, loving. They were two peas in a pod, especially during those early years. He was Corina and my younger brother. He was our little brother, but he acted like he was the oldest. And Corina and I definitely didn't give him much reason to act like, there was reason that he was acting like he was the oldest. That's for sure. After Joey died, the amount of people who reached out sharing how drastically their lives had been impacted by him was astonishing. The nicest guy they ever knew, the funniest friend, the uplifting and transformative coach and mentor, the hardest worker, and the most dedicated father. Joey's death by suicide was a complete shock to his community. It is difficult to talk about. The words often don't make sense, because neither does the experience of how he left this world. I just want to honor that and acknowledge that. We understand that. In just a moment, we're going to begin a time of sharing, just 45 minutes max. We're going to party today and celebrate in his life, because that's what he would want. But we also want to honor the experiences that we all have with him. This is informal. It may seem formal, there's a microphone, but it's just nice to everyone can hear. Informal, and it can be off the cuff. There's no any type of segue into what Joey want most would be celebration and sharing of his memory. Let's remember him in that light and connect in meaningful ways today. We don't have to do this alone. It's okay to need each other. Joey didn't always let everybody in, and sometimes it was hard for him to ask for help, but we can do it differently. And all of you here today is a testament to that, and very meaningful for everyone. To start off with a few story shares, we'll have some family members share, and then we're going to open it up to anybody who feels the desire to share any story about Joey. Maisareen, you want to start?
First, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone being here today. I know it's not easy. My dad was an amazing person with such a young, beautiful soul. He found joy in everything he did and lived life to the fullest. We always joked that he was a child at heart, and I think that really described who he was. He took every moment to make sure I knew how proud he was of me no matter what I was doing, and I wish I was able to tell him how proud I am of him. He made sure his life was dedicated to providing for his family and making sure me and Yuri lived an amazing life. He pushed me and Yuri to strive for what we wanted and nothing less. He pushed us to be the best versions of ourselves. He wasn't just an amazing father, he was my best friend, or bestie, as he would say. I have many fond memories growing up with him as a father. He taught me to be a strong, independent woman that doesn't take crap from anyone. He was the funniest person I knew, and I always went to him for advice because he always had the best ideas. He was so encouraging and raised me and Yuri to be creative and really enjoy what life has to offer. He truly made my childhood magical, and it pains me that's all I have left of him. He was supposed to be there for prom, so today I wore my prom dress in realization that he won't see me in my prom dress, nor will he see me in my wedding dress, and have the opportunity to walk me down the aisle. I love you, Dad, and I'll forever miss you. A day doesn't go by when I don't think about you and how much you truly sacrificed. I promise I'll make you proud. We lost a truly amazing soul due to mental health, so please reach out. Don't ignore the signs, and don't take it on alone. Remember, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
No one tells you how to grieve your dad, let alone your best friend. Esteban was a good person. He still is because he lives on in all the people that he loves, which is everyone in this room. One thing that he did was he always forgave everyone no matter what they did because he truly believed that people could change. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people know him as this loud person that was really classy. I knew him as a dad that loves stripper music and just punch you in the throat type of person.
That's true.
He was a man of wisdom. I would always go to him for advice. He'd be the first person I'd call for everything, and I mean literally everything. I know it hurts having to deal with the loss of a big part of everyone's life, but truly we were all lucky for the time that we had with him. He played off his mental health like it was nothing, and obviously it was not. He was always worried about other people, but never himself. Every time one of my friends were struggling mentally, I would talk to him about it, and he would tell me how to try and support them and how they need to go ask for help. But he didn't even tell people that he was struggling. This is why mental health is so important, and we need to check in on the people that we love. If I got one last thing to say to him, I'd say that I'm terrified that I'm still going to miss you when I'm standing in my wedding dress. That I hope to have you next to me. That I hope to have you next to me whenever I walk down the aisle. But I know that it won't be you, and whoever I walk with will be amazing, but it isn't you. I'd also add how I'm sorry for how much you were struggling, and I'm sorry for not being there to realize that you were hurting and not seeing that. I'd like to thank everyone here for being there for me these rough times.
Thank you so much. Corina.
I loved my brother so much. He was an extraordinary man. Unique, wonderful, beautiful. He taught me how to accept myself and my eccentricities. He was the most original person I knew. And I miss him, and this is hard. And of course it's hard because I loved him deeply. I'm thankful everyone's here. I love my family tremendously, and I'm here for everyone. He was my baby brother. I was 8 years older than him. I knew him more when he was little as opposed to an older man. And so the memories I have of him are of just a blonde little boy who was just fun, absolutely fun, sweetest thing ever, so kind, worked harder than anybody I knew actually, tried harder than anybody I knew. Him not being here is a huge loss to the world, to everybody here. It's one of the saddest things. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it is, and so I need to accept that. I hope to be as vivacious and extraordinary and just kind in all my interactions with people. And I don't know, he was proud of me. He was proud of me when I wasn't even proud of myself. He never judged me. And if you know me, I've lived a very colorful life. So, and I really appreciate that about him. He got me through a lot of things, a lot of times that I didn't actually think I was going to get through. And I wish he had known that about me, that I could have been there for him as much as he had been there for me. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I'm winging it. So I'm so very thankful you guys are here. The amount of people here is extraordinary. He obviously touched a lot of people's lives. Could anybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know. I just thank you guys. Just really thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Do you want to share anything?
Yeah. We will. Just a few words.
Okay.
You're not crying, baby. John was beautiful. That's why I can come up here now, is because he wanted me to. John was larger than life. He was always, what he showed me was his happiness and kindness and working hard. And he just always, never ever complained about things he went through. He didn't tell me what he went through, actually. He didn't, it was a big secret, or different things. He always played it like it was good. And he had it, and I don't know the answers to life, obviously. You know, I don't know why suicide took my son. But I know that's what happens to people. When they're they just are so gone that they think there's no way out. Joey was a bright, shining gift to this world. That's what I want to say. He was a star. He was someone I want to be, and I'm his old mother. And I can't, it's like he's lovely. So much like his dad. You want to be like his dad. Well, I am so lucky to have the gift of that love from both of them. And Joey's life, who am I to say his life is cut short? I don't know how time works. I don't know much, except that love is always the way to go, and Joey loved all of us. Thanks for being here, everyone. Beautiful family. Thank you.
Make sure you turn the mic on.
Is it still working? Okay.
Emily, do you want to share?
Hi, my name is Elayzia, and I'm Joey's cousin. And I've known Joey for as long as I can remember. And I think what has been shared today is, prior to me speaking, has really been beautiful and honest and remarkable. And that's what Joey would want. You know, I love Joey as a family member and as a cousin, and if you know our family, our cousins are pretty tight. It's extraordinary, actually. I don't know a lot of other families who have that type of connection. Doesn't matter how many years go by, we always find each other somewhere in the world, or somewhere in Alaska, or other parts of the U.S. And I watched Joey grow up. I watched him become a dad, which was incredible. I was looking at photos last night, and looking at the photos and the way that he looked as he held Yuri was incredible. There was just this softness and this love, and this look that was Joey becoming a dad. 2 times over, he's right. And when I was thinking a lot about kind of Joey's character and what I saw, because I think sometimes losing Joey was shocking to everyone, right? The Joey that I knew, the Joey that I interacted with, had this beautiful, bright future in front of him and was surrounded by love and loved so many people. And it's hard to reconcile Joey not being here today with the Joey that I know. But I had so much respect for Joey, and I was really impressed by him. I was impressed by the way he communicated professionally. I was impressed by the way he approached life. I was impressed by the joy and the love that he shared. And I remember thinking, after interactions with Joey, I wouldn't see him for 4 months or 6 months or a year, and then I would interact with him. And I remember thinking, I have so much to learn from him. I have so much to learn from the way that he approaches people and the way that he approaches life and his work. And it's not everybody that I say that about or that I think that way about. And I really had a tremendous amount of respect for Joey, and I will always have that respect. When I think about Joey and his life, I think about the characters and the values that he shared and that he demonstrated, and that is what I want to take with me as I move forward, and that is what I can try to do in his honor, is to live those values, to share that love, to share that respect, to share that kindness, and then to support his daughters and the rest of his family as we move forward, because we will be there for you. Once you're a Cotter, you're kind of stuck with us forever. You can't shake us off. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for giving me a chance to share.
Thank you. Are there any other family members that want to say anything? No? Yeah.
Hi, Chelsea. As Esteban would say, baby mama and best friend. He gave me Yuri. I'm so angry with him. It's still hard to reconcile that this happened. All I can think about is how the girls are just babies and they're gonna have to live the majority of their lives without him. And so it's hard to focus on the positive light that he had. He taught me about forgiveness. When when we were together, we both had so many issues, mental health stuff going on, and hurt people. And we were able to move on from that and truly forgive each other and have such a beautiful, close friendship. People do change, and I don't even know, sorry. I'm having to watch what the girls are going through. It's just, I can't speak, I'm sorry. I need to be with Yuri.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So many people here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'd like to open up to Joey's friends and other family members who might want to share for a few more shares. I know, Molly, do you have anything that you want to share?
Hey everyone. This is really hard, but I'm grateful to be here with all of you. Joey and I go back to high school. There was lots of like memories and stories, but I just keep thinking of this more recent event. So I don't know if you all are familiar with Valdez, but we're not known for our dry, hot summers. And a few years back that we had one of those, and I was home one day, and my brother was living with me at the time, and he's like, Molly, oh my God, you have to come look at this. And in like the eaves of the roof of my house is the biggest wasp nest I've ever seen. It was bigger than my head. And I'm like, what do we do? Like, oh no. And of course, because it's hot all over the state, the spray that you used to kill it is gone. Like you can't find it anywhere, sold out of every store. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm not very brave about things like that. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. And so I happened to run into Joey, and I mentioned like, oh, I have this problem, like blah, 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 and always like, whenever you see Joey, it's always like no time has passed. He'd always just be like, acts like I've been waiting to see you. I'm so happy that I get to see you. Like just that feeling that he would give you. And so I mentioned this problem, and he's just like, oh, I can take care of that for you. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I'm home one day, and I happen to look out my window, and he comes walking up. He's wearing a t-shirt and like jeans. He doesn't have any gear, and he has he must have found the spray somewhere, and he just comes. I just see him marching up towards my house, and he's just like, has the spray, and he's just like going for it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like sprayed it, like knocked it down, just took care of the whole thing, just like no fear. And I was so grateful to him in that moment, and he just has always been that kind of friend that just came through, and I think I wish I could have come through for him as well. I'm sure we were all wishing that in that moment, but we all loved him, and I think he knew that we loved him. And I just think of all the laughter and joy that we shared together, and I'm so thankful for that. So, thank you all for letting me share that.
Thank you so much. Kelly, do you want to share something?
Wow, first time I've turned around in a while. So, when Chelsea talked about anger, that sparked a memory in me of one of the favorite therapists that I've ever seen. You know, most of us maybe do that on and off sometimes in our lives. But I was dumbfounded when she told me, it just hadn't occurred to me, that anger is, she believed firmly, a secondary emotion. And it's always secondary to some combination of fear and grief. So I understand that a lot of us are angry, and I certainly don't blame anyone for feeling that way. How could he do that to us? How could he do that to them? But that's not how it works when suicide happens. And when you're feeling that anger, I want you to think about grace. And think about the freaking grace that Joey gave everybody in his life. No matter what happened, no matter how it worked, no matter what went down, if anybody was ever full of grace, it was Joey, that I know in my life, and all of yours as well. So it's okay to feel angry. It certainly is okay to feel angry. But understand and remember, when you're feeling anger, that it's really your fear for what can happen at a drop of a hat in our lives anytime. And it's really your grief. And remember the grace that Joey gave all of us, and give that to him. The other thing I wanted to say, because we're talking about suicide, is that, you know, the term someone committed suicide is just a really sucky term in my figuring, because commitment, when you think about it in relationships, in your life, implies a deep just a deep dedication to something, to a person, to an institution, to something like that. And that's not what happens with suicide. It's not a dedication, it's a spur of the moment, split second that somebody couldn't take anything, couldn't take what was going on anymore, and it happened. It's not a commitment, it's something that happened and was completed. His commitment and his dedication is to all of you, and you all know how much grace he was able to have too. I just have to say, and I can apologize in advance if I offend any Catholics here, because we had a suicide death in my family about a month before Joey. And it was from a side of my family that's very dedicated since Jesus, Catholics. And I worried about my family members that follow that faith so closely, because I thought in the Catholic religion it's a mortal sin, and that it basically guarantees, you know, pretty much a ride to hell in a handbasket when that happens. So I looked it up, and I found that even the Catholic Church now doesn't believe that anymore. That they believe that in order to commit a mortal sin, you have to be your right self. You have to know what you're doing. You have to intend and have that commitment, that dedication to doing whatever the bad thing is. Honestly, I don't even know what they all are. But they've decided that that's not the case. That somebody who commits suicide in that religion can still go to heaven, because nobody in that second, in that time, is in their right mind. And I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, because it was something I learned in the process of the last couple months. But predominantly grace. Give grace to each other, give grace to Joey, and carry on the way that he all wanted us to.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate everything that everyone's sharing. Teresa, did you want to share something? And then Curtis. If anybody else really wants to share, I'd love to see your hands in the next. Okay. All right.
Keep them popping up.
Hi, I'm Teresa.
Joey was really larger than life. He was an adventurer, a storyteller, and he was
was my best friend. He made the ordinary extraordinary. So I'm going to share just a few quick stories of my friend. I grew up with the Cotters and Valdez. We were part of the Rope River crew. One of my earliest memories of Joey is from Audrey's 6th birthday party. Little me was so excited because I heard a rumor that they had bunnies we got to play with. It was a perfect day. We ran around outside in the yard. We played Pac-Man on like the old G system. And I got to pet bunnies. Until, of course, it was time for the birthday cake. And little Joey shoved Audrey's face right into the cake. Joey always knew how to make someone feel important on their special day, sometimes in unexpected ways. Some of my most treasured presents from him over the years include Viking finger puppet magnets, a Big Hero 6 cardboard cutout, and when we were roommates in college, he decided my little fish tank needed an upgrade. He went to the pet store and bought tiny crabs, purposefully so he could tell everyone he gave Teresa crabs. And those little crabs were menaces. They ate every other fish in sight and then escaped the tank, never to be seen from again. To this day, those crabs may still be hiding in the floorboards of that apartment, scuttling around and living off the crumbs. One Christmas, Joey painted me a self-portrait. Himself as an axe-wielding warrior. The painting is almost as tall as I am. In it, Joey is setting off on an epic quest to battle a shadow dragon lurking in the background. The painting is ridiculous, larger than life, and in all ways it's Joey. He was the funniest and smartest person I know. He would give you the shirt off his back, even when you wanted him to keep it on. Through his love and laughter, he taught me how to face life with fearless joy, how Crocs can be worn to any occasion, why I needed to buy the shirt with cats shooting laser beams from their eyes, and when to travel and experience the world for all of its beauty. A phone call with Joey could start with the merits of the next Nick Cage movie and end up as a discussion about the meaning of life. He shared his passion, wisdom, sense of adventure, and love with everyone, but more than anything, he loved his girls, Yuri and Maisareen, and his family. And I'm so grateful that he chose me to be part of that family. His spirit lives on in the stories we tell together, the laughter we share, and the dragons that we battle together. So if you're battling a dragon, please reach out. There's always someone to help you. So thank you, Joey. Thank you for the adventure. Our quest ended too soon.
Curtis?
Glad that Teresa didn't leave because now I don't have to ask for permission. I keep it PG-13 though. There's a lot I could tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip to the script though, because I'm just gonna be up here crying in front of you. If you give a Joey a cookie, you want to hang out in front of Rexall with you. When the weather turns, he'll probably ask if you want to go play Paperboy on the original Nintendo. When you're finished, he'll say he needs to vacuum for the 3rd time for some reason today. After high school, he'll attend college and always make time to visit. When you need a roommate, he'll be there. You will share a room in a 2-bedroom, single-story townhouse. You will play Silent Hill on PlayStation while you attempt to sleep to the sounds of shrieking demons. You'll come home from a full day at university lectures to a chocolate chip cookie gracefully placed between your buttocks. Jody, You want a cookie, you will say? One night you'll wake to the sound of skittering in the baseboards. The two of you will spend months, and I mean multiple months, devising intricate contraptions to capture and eliminate your new vermin roommates. And you'll move on from your ratatouille period of life into a new house of Valdez-based shenanigans. Joey will be a familiar face. He will help you borrow the Northern Lights Boulevard sign that was waiting to be installed and return it a year or so later. One day, you will co-host a birthday party for a mutual friend. And you'll meet your beautiful and amazing future wife. When you take a vacation with your dad, he will hide a large black rooster in your suitcase. Thankfully, Mackenzie will warn you before you depart for the airport. When you return, you will attempt to sleep on your $300 inflatable air mattress, but it will turn out that Joey was using it as a landing pad for jumping down the stairs while you were gone. The combination of stickers, patches, and glue will not hold up. And you'll move on. You'll move on to the next phase of your life. Mackenzie will claim you tricked her into being part of the lease on the first solo apartment. It'll work. Joey will grab the apartment below you and continue to be the most caring and snarky neighbor. You'll be greeted with a cookie. One day you'll awaken to an April snowstorm and your vehicle will be buried under the entire driveway's worth of snow. You'll be late for work. Thanks, Joey. A few years later, you will marry Mackenzie, and Joey will be a groomsman, and you will be his. You'll always be a friend you can rely on. Time will pass, and you will grow from bros to men. You'll have your first child within a year of his. Sawyer's. Where was it? Sawyer and Yuri will spend summer days together. Cookies will be served. In the ultimate show of friendship, you will call him at 11 p.m. on a Saturday while he is a 20-something-year-old bachelor. Mackenzie will have just gone into precipitous labor, and you'll need to rush her to the hospital. You'll be right there. Ben will be born 40 minutes later in a waiting room. The years will fly by. You'll grow. You'll make mistakes. You'll ask for advice. You'll give advice. You'll text memes on your group chat with Teresa. You'll plan to meet at the state fair to watch Weird Al perform. But most of all, you'll wish you could give him one last cookie.
Tom, did you want to share? Okay. Erin, do you want to share?
Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron. I worked for Steve for a couple of years, and I just thought I just got to share the story about how he changed my life. Because if I hadn't had met him, my life life would look completely different. So, about 5 years ago, my friend Jordan texted me and he said, man, you should come work with me. And so, I interviewed with Steve. And within about 30 seconds into the interview, I'm like, oh, this guy's a nerd. He's awesome. And by the end of the interview, he was like, all right, I need you to put your 2 weeks in right now. I was like, Joey.
Steve,
he introduced himself as
Yeah.
Steve to me anyway. So,
Yeah, it's fine.
So, I knew right then, this is where I belong. This is where I'm going to be. And so, the person I was then, compared to who I am now, Steve gave me so much courage to be myself and to grow. And a couple years ago, he calls me and he says, hey, Aaron, can I get you to go to Copper Center to sell some windows? And I said, and meet all 10 people who live there? Sounds like a great time. And so he said, well, you're also going to go down to Valdez. And I had never been to Valdez before. And so I went there, and I met one of the people that I met to go inspect their door. I fell in love with, and we're engaged, and my whole life looks different. So I got to spend so much time in Valdez. I would drive out there every weekend to go see her. And what a special place. I got to live there for about 6 months, and everybody that I met would ask about him. And I just kept thinking, man, I want to be like him. I want to be like him someday, where an entire community of people knows the family, knows the people, and has these, some of the people I met with had stories about, like, it was just an inspiration. And it was such a special place to me. So I thank him, and I thank you, Audrey, for letting this be an open thing to have people come in, because hearing these stories and seeing that I'm not the only person he's changed and grown, and what a man. Rest easy, brother. What a guy.
Thank you.
Elayzia.
Hi everybody, my name is Elayzia and I'm in, sorry, this is the wrong place. My uncle, he was the king of inappropriate jokes, so I had to. I will keep it super short because I had to sit and wait through everybody talking just to get the courage to come up here. I have no idea how you or Yuri even did it, but I'm super proud of you. My uncle, he was my hero. And I'd do anything just to hear his crazy laugh one more time. I only have one story to share, and it was like my first Thanksgiving inappropriate card game. It was Cards Against Humanity. And he was just so great during that time. Like, I remember being so, nervous to play with all my adult family members, and he was like, you got this. And he was just cheering me on, being super cool. He was definitely my cool uncle. I remember when I won that game, he jumped up and, carried me out of the house. It was a great time. But, I really miss him. It's crazy to see how many people came and all the lives that he changed and affected. He was a really amazing guy, and I'll miss him.
Okay, Shane. Thank you.
My name's Shay. I'm Joey's cousin. Most of you have no idea who I am. It's been a really long time since I've been here. But I have a request, and it's going to take me a minute to get there, so just bear with me. I wasn't going to talk, but I heard the word grace, and it just really made me start thinking. When I was 18, my Uncle Steve, Joey's dad, flew me up here to teach me about Valdez's warm, dry summers, roofing and construction. And Joey was there, right? And I was 18. I was not the easiest guy to get along with. I thought I had it all figured out. And me and Joey didn't always get along, but he always took me climbing. He always took me hiking. He was a good cousin no matter what I did. And, I really appreciate that. And I think it's easy. I can't imagine what some of you are going through right now. But I think that if anyone deserves grace, I think it's Joey. And, he was just a really cool character. My dad was on the phone with him this summer, and I happened to walk in to him on speakerphone, and it was the first time I talked to him in probably 10 years. And I really treasure that. So my request, and this is something that I learned being here for this weekend, seeing all of my cousins that I haven't talked to in 10 years, is that you go and call your cousins and talk to them. Not even for mental health purposes, but just for your sake. Because, that's what life is about. And it's easy to lose sight of that when we're all just trying to survive. Thank you for letting me come up here. And, I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. TJ?
Did anyone actually ever see Joey in this outfit besides me? Yes! Wasn't sure what class was today, but my name's TJ. I knew this was me. I was blessed to be married into the Cotter family. I'm now a side shoe to that family, but I still love the Cotters so much. I'm pissed at Joey. I give Joey grace. Pissed at myself. I didn't call him, I got to spend the time with Shay and Joey, building mine and my wife's house at the time, Audrey, here to, house our 2 kids, grandkids for Joey and niece and nephew for Steve and niece and nephew for Joey. Most of my stories are metaphorically and actually getting high with Joey, but many times on the roof. Spent a lot of time high on the roof with Joey. He was always willing to get up higher and steeper, and I was not. Didn't like those things. Did a lot of roofs with both the Cotter men who aren't with us. That's all I got. Rest in peace, Joe.
Is there anybody else who has, please come on up. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Justin. Joey was my friend for over 30 years. I remember one time back in, it's probably 2nd or 3rd grade, we were in the same class, same grade, same age. My last name is Cox, C-O-X. His last name is C-O-T, so we got partnered up a lot in school. And we were in the computer lab, and they said, look up what you guys want to look up on the internet. So I just got a dog, and I was really excited. And Joey says, what do you want to look up? And I said, puppies. And he's like, what? No, let's look up Star Wars. And we looked up puppies, we looked up Star Wars, and a couple years ago, he's like, hey man, do you remember that one time when you wanted to look up puppies? And I'm like, yeah, and I knew he really loved his dogs a lot. And he says, dude, puppies are way cooler than Star Wars. I think he's right. I guess one other thing that was kind of about him, he was always there. When I was 18, I became a dad, got married. A lot of my friends didn't show up, didn't support it, too young, you're in your life and all that, Still married today. Joey was my best man at my wedding. She meant a lot. I was a groomsman in his wedding. Somebody told me once that you don't need a lot of friends, you just need 3 really good ones, and he's one of them. I'm sure a lot of other people in here feel the same way. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Colin. Thank you.
Sorry, I hope we're going over time.
Oh my, no, you're good.
My name's Colin. I've been friends with Joey since grade school, just like Justin, just like a lot of these guys that are being in this room. And I've been thinking about him a lot, obviously. And one of the characteristics of Joey that always is coming back to me is his kind of unwarranted amount of confidence. Without ever leading into arrogance. Ever since he was a little kid, and so every time I thought about him in the last 2 months, this memory I have is like burned into my vision. It's him doing the Joey thing. It's like he's on top of Dustin Harris's 1991 Lake Placid Blue.
Oh no.
Ford, I don't even know what it is, Econo line, kind of tail man. Whatever it is, I think we're way past that. But the band's, of course, moving, which is not that crazy of a thing to do, but growing up in Valdez, you really had to make your own fun a lot of the time. Oftentimes, mischief would find you. This time it was in the form of these gigantic corrugated aluminum culvert pipes out of Old Town. They must have belonged to somebody, I'm sure they were expensive. But, that's not the kind of thing that we really cared about. And they were huge. If you think of an aluminum culvert as being about waist high, these things were like 10 or 12 feet in diameter. I don't even know what they were used for, but they were huge, and I know they were that big because when you're driving the Ackerl line, pushing one of them along, the driver cannot see anything at all. But Joey on the roof had a pretty good view. Several hundred yards away. And so he got a pretty good look when the one in motion came up against one that was stationary. And rolled up over the front of the van, crushing the windshield, and also knocking Joey on his ass. Luckily, I think he stayed on the roof. But
wow.
Dustin, I don't know how you explained the very regular marks on the top of his right hand. But he had to get into the windshield anyway. Joey said, Jane, that he had broken his clavicle at football practice, but it was just a gigantic.
I'm sure there are many other of those types of stories. Pretty amazing. I don't want to take away the opportunity for anybody else who might want to share anything. Just you have a moment or if you have a desire, please let me know. Okay, you still can. I want to read this briefly. This is from Elayzia, Joey's former sister-in-law, and I just think it really, sums him up in some of his brightest ways. Joey was an absolute joy to be around. His mouth always curved up in a grin, and his laugh was loud and infectious. His love for his daughters was so obvious in everything he did. Getting to watch him interact with them as they grew up was such a blessing. I marveled at his creativity, building elaborate fairy houses out of simple treasures found on hikes or along the high tide line of Kachemak Bay. His ability to get down to their level and unlock childhood wonderment was unmatched by any other adult I've known, and I have often thought back to those memories for inspiration interacting with my own children. Joey was always quick to offer help in any manner, and never failed to offer me coffee every time I visited, no matter the time of day. He would rope the girls into videos of them singing happy birthday to send to my kids. There are many, many memories worth mentioning, but overall Joey was humble, thoughtful, and kind-hearted, and will be so terribly missed. This is from Auntie Alexa. I also want to share briefly what her husband wrote, just because I feel like it's just such an amazing testament to who he was. This is from her husband, Justin. What stands out to me about Joey was his selflessness when it came to being a dad and uncle. He would do anything to make his daughters and nephews happy. I remember him fishing with our son Atlas off the deck, and then running down the stairs to tie little stuffed animals to the line, and then running back up to help reel it in. The joy Atlas got from that gesture and the obvious joy Joey got out of it was so incredible to watch. That moment is a memory I'll carry forever. Another vivid memory is of the girls having a TikTok dance they were working on and roping Joey into participating. In his hilarious and humble way, he went all out. All left feet and smiles. I watched the girls just cackle with glee. He worked so hard to put a smile on their faces, and you could tell in those moments how much it meant to both them and him. I'll miss him for the man, father, and uncle he was, and perhaps the greatest compliment I can give him is that I hope I can embrace those moments as my kids grow older, the way that he did. As Joey's sister, I too have many stories to share, but I'll spare you. It's just on and on and on. He was my little brother, 2 years younger than I, and so I've spent more time with him than any person in this entire world for my 41 years. And, we were definitely siblings. And one thing that he always had was my back. And I can echo what Aaron was saying today. He believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And during 3 very pivotal moments in my life where I was at a deep crossroads and unsure of what to do, knowing in my gut and heart what needed to happen, but knowing the discomfort that would cause in life, Joey directed me towards my gut and my heart. And those 3 moments have changed my life drastically, and I'm so grateful that he had the courage to share and to encourage and inspire so many of us. And he worked so tremendously hard at himself. He was more consistent with his fitness than anybody I knew. He read more books than anybody I knew. He was always trying to learn and to improve, to be able to embrace and be in this moment in life as present as he could. And I'm so grateful for all of those moments and experiences with him. I want to thank everyone who shared, who came, who grieved, laughed, cried, and remembered with us. This is a celebration that Joey would have loved. He probably would have heckled a few of us.
Oh yeah.
Me, for sure, a lot. Anyway, he's not here, so. He probably would have heckled, yes, and made wildly inappropriate jokes. But he would have been really proud, especially of his girls. Before we move into the rest of today's celebration, I just want to say again that we don't have to do this alone. Whether it's grief, confusion, joy, or just the strange experience of trying to hold it all together at once. Connection really helps. Even when it's imperfect, even when it's messy. Joey didn't always reach out when he needed to. That's a hard truth, and one that we don't have to repeat. Let's continue to be real with each other, authentic, and show up for each other, telling the stories, keeping the laughter alive, keeping his memory burning bright. And now let's party for Joey. I want to give 2 little housekeeping announcements before we'll remove the chairs and open this up. We'll have some chicken and waffles coming and fruit and things here. It's probably here to set that up. Joey's favorite. There'll be an epic dance party next door with a really crazy photo booth. I know it's kind of weird at a celebration of life, but it's totally Joey style. So take your memories today of Joey with you home with little photos. And there's bookmarks also to take with you. They're scattered on the tables, they're scattered around, and hold those close to you. He certainly, he loved his books, and he loved all of us, and thank you all so much for being here.